Hey, loser.
Leave me alone.
When a child shares hurtful comments online, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Hey, loser.
Leave me alone.
When a child shares hurtful comments, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
Ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for tonight's games. Starting for the Opelika Bulldogs, leading off and playing catcher, number 2, Nylan Thomas. Batting second and playing center field, number 3, Katie Lee. Batting third and playing pitcher, number 1, McKay Yuntz. Batting fourth and playing first base, batting fifth and playing third base, number 25, Jade Jones. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 13, Riley Long. Batting seventh and playing designated player, number 22, Jansen Thomas. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 16, Memory Lyles. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 12, Katie Harrelson. Batting 10th and playing right field, number 17, Allie-Ann Blight. And now the starting lineup for your Auburn Tigers. Leading off and playing left field, number 17, Lucy Curry. Batting second and playing center field, number 24, Jaden Jordan. Batting third and playing first base, number 33, Allie Roberts.
Starting lineups being announced inside the Auburn High School complex. It's Auburn and Opelika tonight. And while they're announced, let's go ahead and give them to you as well for Opelika Bulldogs coming in at 10-10 on the season. Behind the plate, it's Zinlin Thomas, number 2. In center field batting second, it'll be K.D. Lee, the center fielder. The pitcher, McKay Yuntz, gets the 3 spot tonight. She'll wear number 1. First baseman, Sinai Stringer, number 20, will bat cleanup for the Bulldogs. Jade Jones at third base after that. Following her, it's Riley Young at shortstop, Jacqueline Thompson, the designated player, in left field, Memory Lyles, Katie Harrelson at second base, and the flex playing right field tonight, Allie Ann Blythe. For the Auburn Tigers, on the other hand, Auburn coming off a big couple of wins, about 3 wins in a row now over Alabama Christian and a couple others. We'll go ahead and give you the Auburn Tigers lineup, 5-8-2 on the season, looking to improve that win total tonight. In left field, it's Lucy Curry. She'll wear number 17. Jaden Jordan in center field gets to start, the senior, wearing number 24. First base, Allie Roberts tonight. You usually see her in the circle, but no, not tonight. Abby Helms going to get the start, and she bats right behind Allie Roberts in the cleanup position. The designated player, Lily Ondy, going to also get some time here. Going to be the fifth hole tonight, wearing number 19. Ivy Davis at third base. She'll wear number 30. She's been very accustomed to the big bat spot in the lineup there. She'll get the 6th spot tonight. Kate Thornell will get the start at shortstop, wearing number 6. Holly Roberson will also get the big start in right field, wearing number 14. Coco Doyle will get the start behind the plate tonight. Kind of rotating with Lucy Curry the last few weeks, but Coco looks like she's settling in back there. Finally, the flex position, the second baseman, Cameron Spratlin, will get the start over there. Won't be batting in the lineup, but will be the flex player tonight, and we probably will see a good bit of her pinch running. We could get a couple of bats late in the game. Well, as we get into the anthem, we'll go ahead, send it to break for another 1 minute or so. Come right back, and we'll have action on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Auburn High and Opelika. Boy, what a better rivalry there is. Is there one in the state of Alabama? The Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs going at it for many years, and that doesn't let up in any sports besides football. The Auburn Tigers and Opelika Bulldogs getting set to do battle here on the softball diamond. Just adjacent to us, we've got Auburn High School baseball going on. Believe that one has just ended. Auburn winning that one over Spanish Fort. And right now, the Auburn Tigers softball team out at third base, kind of crowding around. Couple of leaders out there getting ready to go here on this kind of a cool Tuesday night set for this kind of action. And it's the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. And I'll tell you what, while we've got a second, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. We'll get that out of the way and then come right back on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Well, Abby Helms in the circle tonight for the Auburn Tigers. Been the pitcher of record for most of the innings this year, at least for the majority of them. 50 innings pitched on the season, a 2.94 ERA, 78 strikeouts, only 14 walks for her. She has been phenomenal so far. A 1.2 whips, that's walks and hits per innings pitched. So certainly a good measure of pitchers allowing base runners and runs. Batting average against only 227 on the season as well. Abby Helms, as we mentioned, a 78 to 14 strikeout to walk ratio. That's 5.57, a very high number there for the freshman. The OBP against just sits a little bit over a tick over 28% at 282 on the season. She's left 48 runners on base this year. She has been fantastic for the Auburn Tigers, really kept them in a couple of games, really kind of got going over the past few weeks for the Tigers. We saw her back here a couple of weeks ago against Central, come in, kind of set the tone for the Auburn Tiger defense, and she looks to do just that once again against her crosstown rival, the Opelika Bulldogs. Well, the Auburn defense in the circle, egging her on, and we are just about ready for action. The Opelika catcher, Zinlin Thomas, about to step in from the right side and get this one going. Abby Helms brushing away some dirt from the circle. Looks in, gets her sign from her coach, checks the wristband, and looks like we're ready for softball on a beautiful Tuesday night for some action. First pitch, a little bit low and inside. That'll make it ball one, and a 1-0 count on catcher Zinlin Thomas. And for those watching at home, you can see Opelika with a 10-10-1 record on the season, 3-0 in area play. Auburn is 5-8-2 on the year, 0-2 in area play. There's a strike by Abby Helms, a nice one on the inside corner, and kind of become accustomed to that. Looks like a cutter that Abby Helms dives back in over the plate, and it's not quite a slider. It looks more like a fastball, but she likes to throw that pitch. Here's a 1-1. Bunted foul right. And we gave you the starting lineup for the Tigers, but just to go over it again, Allie Roberts at first, Cambrell Spratlin at second, Kate Thornell at short, Ivy Davis at third, Lucy Curry, Jaden Jordan, and Holly Roberson round out the outfield from left to right. There's a foul ball over the left side into the Auburn dugout. It'll stay. Coco and Abby Helms going to be the pitching cavalry tonight. Coco behind the plate. And as we mentioned, Abby Helms in the circle for the Tigers. Helms rocks, fires the 1-2, popped up on the infield. Spratlin has this one, settles under it. She's got it for out number one. And there's one down in the first inning. Nice pitch by Roberts to kind of go up and outside. And she got Thomas leaning on that one. And there is one down in the first inning for Opelika. Here's the next batter, K.D. Lee, the center fielder for the Opelika Bulldogs, wearing number 3. Looks at a ball, I believe, a little bit low. For a 1-0 count on the Opelika center fielder. Helms rocks, fires the 0-1, grounded back to short. But it throws on to first for the out, and there are 2 down in the inning. Well, exactly what you want to see from this Auburn Tiger defense. Pretty solid early and some nice pitching by Abby Helms, some weak contact so far. The Opelika Bulldogs haven't been able to barrel one up yet. Standing in now, McKay Youngs, the pitcher for the Bulldogs. She'll be in the circle tonight wearing number 1, and she grounds this right back to Abby Helms. Helms up with it, fires to first. How about that? 1, 2, 3. Go the Opelika Bulldogs in the first inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. We've played a half of 1 inning here at the Auburn High School softball complex. It's Opelika 0, Auburn coming to bat right after this on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Back inside the Auburn High School softball complex, Opelika goes down 1-2-3 in their first inning of work as Abby Helms comes on. The freshman steps them down in order, and that was big for them. The Opelika Bulldogs 10-10-1 on the season, but they're 3-0 in their area so far. So Opelika certainly not a team to be trifled with here, and the Auburn Tigers doing just that, kind of trifling with them there in the first inning. And now the Auburn High Tigers trying to take the lead here in the bottom of the first inning as they get going. It's standing in as the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. It's left fielder Lucy Curry wearing number 17. Lucy at .340 on the season, 400 slugging and .436 on base percentage so far. She swings at the first pitch for a strike 1 as that was delivered a little bit outside. And unfortunately, don't have any stats on Opelika this game. Hopefully, we'll be able to get them to you in this game or as the season moves along. But McKay Younks delivers the 0-1 pitch a little bit outside for a ball one. And now a 1-1 count due to Curry here, standing in from the right side, the Auburn left fielder. Here's the stretch and the pitch line down the first base line, but foul. And that'll run it to 1-2. Boy, Curry been very good this season at just getting the bat on the ball. And when she does, she certainly has a good batting average to prove it. Her batting average on balls in play, 372 on the season. That means when she puts one in play, she's usually aboard, folks. Here's a 1-2 pitch to her. A little bit outside, runs it to 2-2 now. As Curry will step out, get a sign from her coach, Matt Hendricks, down at third base. And now she'll step back in. 2-2 pitch due to the Auburn left fielder. Hit on a line, grounded to second base. Second baseman up with it, throws it on to first as she kind of bobbled it for a second, but was able to flip it over in time. That was Katie Harrelson out there at second base, who made a nice play flipping it over to Sinai Stringer at first base for out number one. And there's one down in the inning. Boy, good contact by Curry. Just hit that on a line right at the second baseman, and Harrelson was able to gobble it up and make the play. And that'll bring Jaden Jordan into the plate for the second spot. The Auburn Tigers center fielder. She takes a ball a little bit high and outside. Jaden Jordan, a slap hitter, 261 on the season. Only slugging about 218, but a 426 on base percentage. She is certainly a put it on with your speed kind of player. Ooh, wow, 1-0 pitch. Looked a little bit low and outside, but in there, says the home plate umpire, for a called strike one. And that'll run the count to 1-1 on the Auburn center fielder, Jaden Jordan. Here's the 1-1 pitch, looped back foul to the left side. That'll hit off the net. And we'll run the count to 1-2. Jordan played in all 17 games and started for the Tigers this season. As here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Looked like a rise ball got up there in the eyes of Jaden Jordan for strike number 3. So that'll make it 2 down for the Auburn Tigers in the inning. And will bring up Allie Roberts, who will stand in from the right side, the Auburn Tiger first baseman. She gets set now to face McKay Younks, as the first pitch is in there for a strike one. Swung on and missed by Allie Roberts. Allie, a first baseman and a pitcher for this Auburn Tiger team, as she swings through another one to make it an 0-2 count. A nice movement on that ball by McKay Younks. But Allie Roberts looking to try and stay alive here on the 0-2 pitch, but she will not. Another swinging strike. 3 swinging strikes for Allie Roberts there. Just couldn't put the bat on the ball, and Auburn is down in the inning. No hits and no errors. We got no action happening so far in this one. And after one, it's Opelika 0, Auburn 0, with Opelika coming to bat in the top of the second. Right here next on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Well, the Auburn Tigers down in order in the first inning, and Opelika got us in there 4, 5, and 6 batters to the plate. No score here in the top of the second inning between the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. As the cleanup hitter role will stand in now for the Opelika Bulldogs in Sinai Stringer, the first baseman for the Dogs, as she takes a first pitch outside for ball one from Abby Helms. Abby Helms, again, we mentioned the freshman on the season, taking up the second most innings pitch for the Tigers, 36.33 on the year, 36 1/3 for those counting at home. As the 1-0 pitch sails a little bit high again, making it a 2-0 count on Sinai Stringer. Stringer, number 20, bats from the left side, power hitter for the Dogs. 2-0 pitch, a little bit low and outside. That skipped up there. Coco Doyle was able to block that one, but with no runners on, no advancement by anyone. And the count is run full. The count is run to a 3-0 count on Sinai Stringer, the leadoff batter for the Dogs here in the second inning, folks. Looking all around at different numbers. As the 3-0 pitch, nowhere close, a little bit outside. So a 4-pitch walk to the Opelika first baseman there. And the Dogs have a runner on here in the top of the second inning. Have to bear with me, folks. A lot of numbers to look at here tonight. As Opelika gets ready with their first base runner of the game. Here's a first pitch from Abby Helms to the 5-hole hitter, Jade Jones. The third baseman is in there for a called strike one. Looked like that cutter kind of nicked the outer portion of the plate. 0-1 count to Jones from Abby Helms. Here it is. Swing and a miss on the cutter again, just a little bit high. Kind of towards the eyes, and Jade Jones run right through it. Oh, and 2 the count to Jade Jones. Abby Helms looking for her first strikeout of the game. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just a foul tip. Coco Doyle not able to handle that one over her head. And the count will stay at 0-2. Again, we mentioned Abby Helms, 2.31 ERA on the season. Actually told you Allie Roberts' stats a little bit ago. 16 strikeouts, 13 walks this year for Helms. Here's her pitch, and that sneaks by Ivy Davis at third base. And bobbling it out in left field is the Auburn left fielder, Lucy Curry, but she's able to come up with it. She can't throw it outside. Boy, looked like that just got by the glove over there of Ivy Davis. So that'll be a single for Jade Jones, and that'll put runners on first and second for the Bulldogs here in the top of the second inning. And just like that, Auburn's in some trouble. Boy, a slow kind of breaking pitch that kind of went back right on the inside corner. And Jade Jones just pulled it down the line. Ivy Davis just couldn't quite catch up to that line. Curry was able to keep it in front of her out there in left field and prevent the runner from moving up 90 more feet. But the Dogs do have the first scoring position runner of the night. First pitch to Riley Long. The Opelika shortstop misses outside to make it a 1-0 count. Abby Helms checking the wristband once again, steps into the mound. Rocks and fires in there for a called strike one. Cutter looked a little bit low on the outside corner. And a count is 1-1. Helms getting ready to rock and fire. The 1-1 bunted right back to her. Helms turns around, throws to second base. Oh, they call her safe. Abby Helms was able to corral the bunt that was popped up, turned around to throw out the runner. Stringer just got her hand back in there. For those there, Sinai Stringer just under the tag. Folks on the radio, you'll just have to take my word for it. And that'll the designated player for the Bulldogs with one down in the inning, and the first pitch strike from Abby Helms, the cutter that just creeps over the inside corner. Boy, a nice play by Abby Helms, and the awareness to catch that kind of bloop bunt, turn around and fire a strike to second base. Just couldn't quite get Stringer off the bag in time. The 0-1 pitch swung on and fouled back towards us. And that'll run to count to 0-2. Jansen Johnson wearing number 22, standing in from the right side. An open stance for her as she gets ready to face the 0-2 pitch from Abby Helms. Here it is. Swung on, foul, tipped right back at us. And that'll keep the count right where it is at 0-2. Top of the second inning, Auburn and Opelika tied at 0 apiece. Auburn wasn't able to push across any runs in their half of the inning, but Opelika threatening to do that now with the first runner in scoring position of the game. As the 0-2 pitch from Helms grounded over to Thornell at short. Going to be a tough play. Throws it on to first. Got her by half a step, it looked like. Are they going to say she was off the bag? No call has been made yet, it doesn't look like. And I believe the umpires are going to have to talk about this one. Boy, it looked like Allie Roberts may have come off the bag over there. But was it after or before she caught the ball? It looked like the throw beat Jensen Johnson just by a step. We'll get an official ruling from the umpires. Boy, it looked like Roberts tried to keep her foot on the bag, and they are going to call her safe. Jansen Thompson getting down the line, making it a close play, but Roberts just couldn't quite keep her foot on the bag. So that will load up the bases for the Opelika Bulldogs. Boy, and a tough break there for the Auburn Tigers. Kate Thornell made a nice play, getting it out of her hands to feed Roberts at first base. Just couldn't quite keep her foot on the bag. So the bases are loaded for left fielder Memory Lyles, now wearing number 16, batting from the right side. Auburn infield in a little bit as the first pitch to Lyles hits the upper strike zone corner. The outside corner, excuse me, folks. Running that count to 0-1. Bases loaded for the Dogs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike, too. Abby Helms throws the cutter, gets it on the inside corner, and makes it an 0-2 count. Boy, she would love a strikeout here of Memory Lyles, trying to get out of this jam here in the top of the second inning. 0-2 pitch from Abby Helms. Got Memory Lyles on the swinging strike, and there are two down in the inning. What a big strikeout by Abby Helms. And now it'll be up to Katie Harrelson, the Opelika second baseman. She's already made a nice play in the field, looking to try and give her team a couple of runs on the board here early. Here is the first pitch to Harrelson. Lined into center field, but there is Jaden Jordan. Under it, she squeezes it, and Auburn's out of the inning. Boy, a nice piece of pitching there by Abby Helms to get out of that one. No runs on 2 hits and no errors in that inning for the Auburn Tigers, as we played 1.5 here inside the Auburn High School softball complex. There is no score between the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. Auburn coming to bat, trying to change that here in the bottom of the second inning on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Bottom of the second inning between the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. And standing in for the Auburn Tigers now, pitcher Abby Helms, standing in from the right side as she takes a first pitch outside for ball number 1. Boy, Abby Helms in a jam there in that end of that top of the second inning, but was able to get out of it after bases loaded with 1 out. There's a strike on the inside corner delivered by McKay Yuntz. Abby Helms, the Auburn pitcher, in from the right side once again. A little bit of an open stance, not too illustrated though. as the 1-1 pitch misses a little bit inside. Almost hit Abby Helms. Looked like it kind of ran in on her ankles there, but no flinch from Helms there. And that runs the count to 2-1 on the Auburn pitcher. Stretch and pitch from Yuntz. Swung on for strike 2. Abby Helms just couldn't quite catch up to that heater on the inside corner. And that'll run it to 2-2 on the Auburn pitcher. McKay Yuntz in the circle, fires the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got Abby Helms on the high and inside heat. Helms just couldn't quite catch up to that one, and that's one of those where up in the eyes, hard to lay off of that one if you're Abby Helms. So a strikeout for Helms, and that'll bring up for the Auburn Tigers the 5-hole hitter. And that's Lucy. That's Lucy Once, I believe. Yes, that is. That's Lily Ondi, actually. Excuse me. Lily Ondi, the designated player tonight for the Tigers, wearing number 19. Stands in from the right side and takes a first pitch strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch delivered, fouled back by Ondi, a little bit on the right side. And that'll run the count to 0-2. Lily Ondi only appearing in 3 games so far this season, but a .571 average. Slugging, get this, folks, .857 on the season. 0-2 pitch to her, swung on, fouled back to the screen. Way to fight, Lily. Lily with no home runs on the season. Couple of extra base hits, though. She certainly has the power to do so, and only 7 at-bats thus far this season. But an 0-2 pitch due to her here in the bottom of the second inning. A little bit inside on Ondi. And that'll make it a 1-2 count for the Auburn designated player. McKay Yuntz made quick work of the Tigers in the first, looking to do the same here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Ondi, a little bit outside. Actually, a lot of bit outside there as the catcher couldn't run that one down. And a 2-2 count now on Lily Ondi. 2-2 pitch to Ondi. Fouled over to the right side. A nice job by Lily Ondi to stay in there and fight those pitches off from McKay Yuntz. Boy, and if you're Auburn, just like to see her get on here. Nothing special. Just find a hole somewhere. Get a base runner for the Tigers. Hadn't been able to threaten yet. But a 2-2 pitch here due to Lily Ondi. Here it is from McKay Yuntz. High and outside, ball 3, and that'll run the count full. So Lily Ondi working her way back from an 0-2 count now to 3-2. She looks to try and win this battle. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Young. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Boy, it looked like a good pitch on the inside half and just kind of came right back over it. And Lily Ondi is caught looking for out number 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Ivy Davis, the 6-hole hitter for the Tigers, playing third base tonight, as she does every night. From the right side, she'll bat. A pretty neutral stance for Davis at the first pitch. Misses high and outside to Ivy Davis for ball 1. McKay Yuntz in the circle now. Fires the 0-1 pitch in, the 1-0 pitch in there. That's fouled back by Ivy Davis, back behind the screen. And that'll run the count to 1-1. 2 outs here, bottom of the second inning. Auburn and Opelika doing battle. Opelika threatened in the top of the second, weren't able to get anyone across as the 1-1 pitch is fouled right back behind us. May have hit right on top of us. Running the count to 1-2. Auburn just trying to continue that momentum. A couple of wins over the last week or so. As a rough start is starting to turn around here for the blue and white. 1-2 pitch, hit her on the arm. Ivy Davis looked like she tried to check her swing, and she looks like she did, as she will be awarded first base. So the Auburn Tigers do have a base runner here in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. And that'll bring up shortstop Kate Thornell. Boy, Kate Thornell made a good play in the top of the second inning, able to fire a quick one over to first. Wasn't quite able to get the runner, and I believe they called that one a hit. But Thornell can do some damage here. First pitch misses up and into her for ball one. Thornell 188 on the season, 243 slugging, 361 with the on-base percentage. She does have a home run on the year, so a little bit of pop in her bat as she fouls the 1-0 pitch to the right side. And Kate just hadn't been able to find many holes so far this season. You'd expect that to turn around. Auburn shortstop in from the right side. Gets the 1-1 pitch, drives this one out to left field, and that is over the head of the left fielder, Lyles. Rounding third base and coming to the plate is Ivy Davis. She's going to make it with no throw, and the Tigers are on the board first. Kate Thornell drives a 1-1 pitch double over the left fielder, Memory Lyles' head, and the Tigers strike first in this one. 1-0 Auburn in the bottom of the second inning. Boy, a nice play, nice hit right there by Kate Thornell, just going with what the pitcher gave her. She was able to drive those hips forward and hit that one way over the head of Memory Lyles. Almost got out of here, did that one. Auburn with the lead and standing in now the right fielder, Holly Roberson, who pops this one right behind the plate on the first pitch, and that is pulled in by Zenlin Thomas for out number 3. But the Tigers do get a run. A Kate Thornell double gives them the lead over the Opelika Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second inning. 1 run on 1 hit and no errors in the bottom of the second inning for the Auburn Tigers. We've played 2 inside the Auburn High School softball complex. It's Auburn 1, Opelika nothing. You're listening to the Auburn High School Sports Network presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Abby Helms has thrown 2 innings of good work against the Opelika Bulldogs. Only 2 hits in 2 innings so far and no runs for the Opelika Dogs. And Abby Helms back out there for her 3rd inning of work, trying to set them down in order. First pitch to Opelika right fielder. That's Allie-Ann Blythe. We're back at the top of the lineup. That's Zenlin Thomas, the catcher, who made a nice grab there to end the bottom of the second inning. And she takes the first pitch for a called ball, 1-0. As the 1-0 pitch runs a little bit inside and low, 2-0 now the count on Zenlin Thomas from Abby Helms. Two and 0 the count. Now Abby Helms in the circle for the Tigers. Zenlin Thomas at the plate for the Dogs from the right side. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Line down the left field line, but foul, as that was barreled up by Thomas. Just a little bit too far out in front of that one. And watch your head down there if you're on the left field line. That was smoked. Abby Helms with a 2-1 pitch now. Due to Zenlin Thomas. A little bit inside and low. So that'll make it a 3-1 count now. 3-1 the count on Zenlin Thomas. as Abby Helm gets ready to deliver it. Hitters count pitch. Here it is. Grounded to third base. Off the glove of Ivy Davis to Thornell. Thornell picks it up, tries to throw out Zenlin Thomas, but she's unable to do so as Thomas legs out the single. Boy, a hard hit ball right at Ivy Davis. Davis couldn't stop it as kind of hit just real hard at her. Just kind of a reaction play over there for the third baseman for the Tigers. Ball caromed over to Kate Thornell, who had a play on it almost threw out Thomas. But Thomas, a speedy catcher, was able to get over there. So the first pitch now due to K.D. Lee. The Opelika center fielder as she grounded to second base for the first at-bat for her in this one. Number 3 she wears as she takes a called strike one. 0-1 the count. Here's a bunt right back to Helms. Helms picks it up, fires to first base, over to Allie Roberts, gets the out at first. Zenlin Thomas had rounded second and looked like she was thinking about trying to go for third. Scampered back to the bag. Roberts tried to throw her out, but she was back. So standing in for the Opelika Bulldogs pitch. She wears number 1 from the right side, takes a first pitch down the middle for a called strike one. Zenlin Thomas trying to play a little bit, get a game of chicken down there with catcher Coco Doyle. She got almost halfway down the line between second and third. Doyle looked her back. But Thomas able to scamper back to the bag at second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little bit low. Doyle was out of the dirt. Boy, and Zenlin Thomas getting a huge kind of secondary lead down there at second base as she comes off the bag. But a quick runner in Thomas. Going to be hard to throw her out either way. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Driven into right field. Back on it is Roberson. She can't come up with it. Around third is Thomas. She will score. Into second base. Now going for third is McKay Yuntz. The throw does not get her in time, and Yuntz is into third base with an RBI triple. Boy, Holly Roberson looked like she had a beat on that for a minute, but may have misjudged it as that was hit hard right to the right center field gap, and she wasn't able to throw out the speedy McKay Yuntz. So an RBI triple for Yuntz has tied this game here in the top of the third inning, and Opelika just like that threatening to take the lead with cleanup hitter Sinai Stringer into the box now for the Dogs. Really the first kind of hard hit ball Abby Helms has given up this game. Had a couple kind of pop-ups, had a couple of kind of bloops that were able to stay in as this one popped over to the third base side. Ivy Davis going to run this one down. Sinai Stringer, a first pitch fastball, kind of tries to fight it off, but Ivy Davis able to go into foul ground, make a nice catch, and quickly there's one down in the inning. And boy, what a nice job this would be by Abby Helms to get out of yet another jam with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs. Well, score tied at 1 here in the Auburn High School softball complex. And the first pitch to Jade Jones, the Opelika third baseman, is a little bit low at inside for ball 1. Just getting word, actually, there's actually 2 outs, so we apologize for not being able to keep that correctly as there's a 0-1 pitch. There's a 1-0 pitch that's driven over the right side and out of play into the parking lot. And that'll run the count to 1-1. Third base, a runner stands there for the Opelika Bulldogs as there's a 1-1 pitch, drops in for a called strike 2. So with 2 outs in the inning, Abby Helms actually just a pitch away from getting out of this one once again with a runner on third and less than 2 outs in the inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A little bit inside on Jones as she took it for ball 2. Running the count to 2-2 now for the Opelika third baseman. Yeah, K.D. Lee with a sacrifice bunt there in that inning. As here's the 2-2 pitch swung on, lifted out to right field. Holly Roberson over, under, and she's got it for out number 3 there in the top of the third to retire the Dogs. So damage limited there on the RBI triple as Abby Helms does work her way out of another jam with a runner on third with less than 2 outs. We've played 2.5 here at the Auburn High School softball complex. It's Auburn and Opelika knotted at 1. We'll be right back on the Auburn High School Sports Network presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Well, the Opelika Bulldogs do draw even there in the top of the third inning, making this game 1-2-1. So the Auburn Tigers back up at the plate, looking to try and get that lead right back. And into the box for the Tigers to lead off this inning is the catcher, number 7, Coco Doyle, who will still in the circle, fires the first pitch to her. Must have been a little bit high on that one for ball 1, so a 1-0 count on Coco Doyle. Over at Plainsman Park, Jacksonville State leading Auburn in the bottom of the 5th inning, 3-1. Auburn Tigers after a big series win out in Texas A&M, trying to keep the momentum rolling. 1-0 pitch to Coco Doyle, misses a little high. That'll make it a 2-0 count. And right over the way at the Auburn High School baseball complex, Spanish Fort puts 3 on Auburn in the first inning of that doubleheader, the second game of that doubleheader. 2-0 pitch. Ooh, must have been in there on the inside corner. Looked a little bit high from our vantage point, but that will be in there for a called strike 1. But Spanish Fort on top of Auburn over at the baseball complex, 3-0 as Auburn bats in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 to Coco. Swing and a miss on the fastball low. And that'll run the count to 2-2 on the Auburn catcher. Coco Doyle only 154 on the season, trying to get that to shoot up a little bit. 2-2 pitch, misses high and outside, and now it's full to Coco Doyle. Again, tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third inning at the Auburn High School softball complex. Full count to the leadoff hitter in this inning, Coco Doyle, for the Tigers. There's the 3-2 pitch swung on and missed by Coco Doyle, and that will retire her for the first out of the inning. Boy, a nice battle by Doyle there to get it to 3-2. Just couldn't quite barrel one up there in the end. And that'll flip the lineup over for the Auburn Tiger leadoff batter, Lucy Curry. She struck out her first time. She awaits the first pitch. Looked a little bit high for ball 1, 1-0 on Lucy Curry. But Curry kind of splits time with Coco Doyle behind the plate. Coco kind of getting that roll down over the last few weeks or so as Lucy Curry settling in at left field now. She lines this one down the right side, but foul up against the Opelika dugout. Once again, we're in the bottom of the third inning. Auburn and Opelika doing battle at the Auburn High softball complex. 1-1 pitch from Yuntz. Swung on and missed on the outer half. And now Curry in a hole, 1-2. Again, Curry came into this one batting .340 on the year. A good contact hitter trying to do just that. Grounds it back up the middle to second baseman Harrelson. Harrelson fields on to first for out number 2 as she retires Lucy Curry. And there are 2 down in the inning. That'll bring up number 24, Jaden Jordan, the Auburn center fielder. She'll walk around to the left side, a slap hitter getting ready to try and get herself on, create a little 2-out magic for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch set due to Jaden Jordan. Here it is, misses outside in the other batter's box. Running the count to 1-0 out of the gate. 1-0 the count on Jaden Jordan as she readies for the second pitch of the at-bat. Slapper hits it right back foul on the net as that kind of came right back to the left side of us. And that'll make it a 1-1 count. 1-1 on Jaden Jordan, the Auburn center fielder. Here's the 1-1 pitch to her. Slapped foul down the left side again into the Auburn dugout. Running the count to 1-2. Jaden Jordan, 261 on the season with an on-base percentage of .426, so double her batting average. And that's indicative of a lot of walks, a lot of hit-by pitches, a couple sacrifices, and kind of just forcing the issue a lot of times. And a called strike 3 on Jaden Jordan. Looked a little bit on the outside corner, but the home plate umpire says it did catch that corner. So after 3, no runs on no hits and no errors, the Tigers are out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We head to the top of the 4th. It's Opelika 1, Auburn 1 here on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Back to softball inside Auburn, Alabama. Abby Helms back in the circle for her 4th inning of work against the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Opelika Dogs. Katie Harrelson standing in from the right side. First pitch bounces up there from Abby Helms. This looks to be number 13. And is that Riley Long for the Opelika Dogs? Yes, it is. We apologize. So actually, Opelika not quite down that far in the order now. They're going to bring up their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. As the 1-0 pitch misses low from Abby Helms, running it to 2-0. Abby been good at getting herself out of a jam, but you'd like to see her kind of settle down, get ahead in these counts, and really force the Opelika Bulldogs to make them earn it. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded, foul down the left field line. Running the count to 2-1 now. Well, again, no stats available for the Opelika Bulldogs, so can't really give you a whole lot of numbers on these ladies. However, we can kind of keep you abreast of Abby Helms' numbers on the season. We told you she came in at a .231 ERA. Batters hitting .294 against her as that one's popped into center field. Coming on now, that's Holly Roberson who will come on, make the catch out of right field for out number 1. A nice play out there by Roberson to just kind of take control. And there is one down in the inning. Stepping in now for the Opelika Dogs, Jansen Thompson, the designated player. She singled the shortstop her first time up as Kate Thornell couldn't quite throw her out. First pitch is in there for a called strike 1 from Abby Helms on the inside corner. and we talk about it at length, but Abby Helms got that fastball that kind of cuts back away from a right-handed batter as that one's fouled behind the plate, making it an 0-2 count. A really dangerous pitch for hitters trying to swing at that one, get a bat on it. And if Helms can kind of work that more into her repertoire, she's going to be very dangerous for years to come. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted into left field. Coming on is Thornell. She makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Did she hang on? Did she hang on? Yes, she did! What a catch by Kate Thornell, going over her left shoulder and bringing that in like a wide receiver. And there are 2 down in the inning. Boy, a breaking ball lifted out right behind her. She's able to reach back with her glove hand, pull that one in, and out in left field, Lucy Curry there to kind of keep that one contained. And there are 2 down in the inning for Memory Lyles, the left fielder for the Dogs. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Memory Lyles swinging through that one as Abby Helms gets ready for the second pitch of the at-bat that skips up there, making it a 1-1 count now. Abby Helms been working through trouble tonight, but been able to get out of it for the most part so far, only allowing 1 run through 3 2/3 innings right now. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Did she go? Yes, she did. Pitch missed high, but a swinging, kind of check swing by Memory Lyles couldn't hold it back. That'll bring the count to 1-2. Abby Helms just another strike away from getting out of this one. Here is that 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got Memory Lyles swinging out and away. Did Abby Helms throw that cutting fastball? And the Tigers are out of the inning in the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits on no errors by Opelika in the top of the 4th inning. We played 3.5. It's Auburn 1, Opelika 1. You're listening to the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Dogs out 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th inning there. The big highlight play of that one, Kate Thornell, an over-the-shoulder grab at shortstop, going behind her left shoulder, grabbing out with her extended arm, was able to bring in that ball. And the Tigers are out of the inning in the top of the 4th. Now up to bat for the Tigers. They'll bring the 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters up. It's Allie Roberts standing in from the right side, getting ready to face the 4th inning of McKay Yuntz. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Allie. Misses out and away. And the count is 1-0 on Allie Roberts. Allie, 267 on the season, a home run, and 6 extra base hits so far. Looking to increase that total here. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. And Yuntz has thrown another one by Allie Roberts. Allie having trouble barreling it up tonight so far. Hoping to see that change as this one gets late. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Misses low, running the count to 2-1. As Roberts steps back in, getting ready to face this 4th pitch of this at bat. Yuntz rocks and fires, misses outside. 3-1 the count now for Allie Roberts. Trying to find her way on base for the Tigers and take this lead back here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 hitters count to Allie Roberts. Yuntz comes home with it, swung on and missed at a fastball down the middle. Couldn't quite catch up to that one. Could Allie Roberts. And the count is full. Big pitch here, you would have to think for the Auburn offense. Trying to get a base runner on here. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Allie Roberts. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it all over again. Boy, Allie spoiled a nice pitch there from McKay Yuntz as that was down and in, but Abby was able to bring those hands in and get to it quickly, and she'll live to see another pitch. Allie Roberts, the Auburn first baseman, digs in from the right side. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Another foul tip to the screen. That'll keep the count full at 3-2. Allie Roberts just trying to find her way on base here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Trying to get these Tigers threatening once again. McKay Yuntz hadn't missed many bats tonight. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed Allie Roberts. She came upstairs. Looked like maybe a fastball, maybe even a rise ball, as she's thrown that pitch a couple of times tonight. Been able to get some Auburn hitters out. And there's one down in the inning. Yeah, you'd like to see Allie lay off of that one, but once again, a tough pitch to not swing at, as that one's kind of up in the eyes. Looks so good coming out of the pitcher's hand. A one down now for Abby Helms. Helms swings through the first pitch for strike one, making it an 0-1 count on her. Abby Helms, the Auburn pitcher, 4 innings of one-run softball so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch to her. Up and out for a ball. 1-1 count now due to Abby Helms, the Auburn pitcher. Wearing number 20 on the season and batting right-handed, Abby Helms has been very good for the Tigers at the plate. Only hitting about .231, but 4 home runs on the season. 7 extra base hits. She's been hitting the ball hard when she does. As there's a swinging strike on the 1-1 pitch. Helms swings through a fastball down the middle. And that will run the count to 1-2. Once again, Auburn trying to just get a base runner on here in this one. 1-2 pitch misses high and outside to Helms, running the count to 2-2. Abby trying to give herself a little bit of help here. Pitching in a tie game, never an easy thing to do. As here's the 2-2 pitch, fouled right back after us, and we'll stay right here at 2-2. But as we mentioned, Abby Helms trying to make it a little bit easier on herself here. Pitching in a tie game, always a little bit stressful for the pitcher. And they'd certainly like to play with a couple more runs. Helms digs in. Now here's the rock and the 2-2 pitch. On the outer half, strike 3. Looked a little bit out, but the home plate umpire rings up Abby Helms for the second out of the inning. Boy, it looked a little bit out from up here, but maybe too close to take for the Auburn pitcher. As there are 2 down, and Lily Ondi will make her way up, the designated player for the Tigers. Well, Lily with a couple of doubles on the season and two more hits, 2 singles as well. So in 8 plate appearances, she's had 4 hits. She's also knocked in a couple of RBIs so far. She's got the power, got the contact ability to give the Tigers a lead with 1 swing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As she takes a first pitch ball low, making the count 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Missed is high and in. Ball 2. 2-0 on Lily Ondi now, the designated player for the Tigers. Opelika has out-hit Auburn 4-1 so far. Auburn with only the 1 hit, but a big one, an RBI double by Kate Thornell as the 2-0 pitch is fought off, fouled to the right side by Ondi. Once again, only 1 hit for Auburn so far. A big one from Kate Thornell on the RBI double, bringing home Ivy Davis. But other than that, McKay Yuntz has been missing Auburn barrels all night. Ondi in from the right side once again. 2-1 count to her. Here's the rock and the fire. Fouled back to the right side over the stands right behind us. 2-2 the count now on Lily Ondi, as she awaits the 2-2 pitch from McKay Yuntz. Here is Yunt's 2-2 pitch. Rocks and fires, misses inside. And the count has run to 3-2. Lily came in at .571 on the year, a .714 on-base percentage. Again, not a whole lot of at-bats so far in this one. Only 8 plate appearances on the season. But looking to bust open here. Swung on and miss on the full count 3-2 pitch. Does Lily Ondi, and the Tigers are out of luck in the bottom of the fourth. No runs on no hits, no errors in that bottom of the fourth inning for the for the Auburn Tigers. We've played 4 inside the Auburn High School softball complex. It's a tight one. Knotted at 1, the Opelika Dogs and the Auburn Tigers. We'll be right back on the Auburn High School Sports Network presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. One, two, three, go the Auburn Tigers in the bottom of the fourth inning. And now heading to the top of the fifth, Auburn and Opelika in a fight, 1-1 inside the Auburn High School softball complex. And Abby Helms, who has been terrific so far, only 1 run on 4 hits by the Opelika Dogs in this one. She's out for her 5th inning of work as the first pitch crosses the plate. Cutter on the inside corner for strike 1. Auburn trying to hang in there with pitching and defense until they can get their offense going once again. Another cutter on the inside corner for Abby Helms. 2 quick strikes by the freshman to Katie Harrelson, the Opelika second baseman. As she popped out back into second inning to the center fielder. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that one. Looked like that was up and out, and didn't look like Coco Doyle was may not been able to bring that one in as that was so far out, but getting a piece of it was Katie Harrelson, and she stays alive at the plate. 0-2 the count now. Abby Helms trying to get off to a good start in this inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Misses low and in as it skipped up there to Harrelson. And Helms will have to deliver another one to the Opelika second baseman. 1-1, Opelika and Auburn tied in the top of the 5th inning. 4 hits for Opelika, 1 for Auburn. Here is a 1-2 pitch, slow ball, hit right back up to Thornell at short. Bobbles, collects, throws to first, and got her by a step over there. Kate Thornell with a nice play out at shortstop. Kind of bobbled it a little bit as she looked to pick it up, but was able to get her runner in Katie Harrelson, and there's one down in the inning. So a nice play gets the first out, and that'll bring up Zinlin Thomas, the Opelika catcher, back at the top of the order for the Dogs. First pitch to her is grounded fair down the third base line, right over the bag into the corner. Curry hops on that one out in left field, now going to throw it in. Had some trouble with it. Goes to third is Zinlin Thomas. Oh, they called her safe. Oh, they called her safe. Wow, they called her safe. It looked like Kate Thornell turned around, hit the cutoff, did Lucy Curry. Thornell threw it to third base in Ivy Davis, who laid the tag down. Oh, and it looked like she was out from here. But the third base umpire had a little bit better look at that one. Because looking at the replay, it looked like Lucy Curry had some trouble digging that one out in the corner. Boy, we get a replay, and that sure did look close. Boy, I have to trust the eyes that were that close, but man, looked like an out from up here. But nonetheless, Opelika with a runner at third base, threatening once again 90 feet away from taking the lead in this one. The first pitch to K.D. Lee, the Opelika center fielder, is in there for a called strike one. Well, we've seen Helms get out of some jams so far this evening. Let's see if she can do it again. A runner at third, less than 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lee. Bunted right back at Davis. Davis had her. She flips home. Didn't get Zenlin Thomas. Thomas decided not to go. And now K.D. Lee will make her way down the second as the Auburn defense just kind of relaxed on that one. Thornell just kind of looked down at the ground, wasn't able to get Zenlin Thomas. Thomas went about halfway. Auburn was able to keep her from scoring, but K.D. Lee gets to second base on the bunt single. So that'll keep the runners at second and third now with only 1 out in the inning. And Auburn will face another batter here in McKay Yuntz. And now Coach Matt Hendricks going to walk out and talk a little strategy with the ladies in the field. And actually, it looks like we're going to get a new pitcher. We may get a new pitcher now. Yes, we will. So Abby Helms going to be out after 5 1/3 innings. Looks like we're going to bring in Allie Roberts to pitch now. Yes, she will go get the face gear from the dugout and come back out. She was playing first base. And Allie Roberts will come into the circle to try and stop the bleeding here in the top of the 5th. And try and keep this at a 1-1 game, really, nonetheless. And we know Allie is certainly a strikeout pitcher. 78 strikeouts on the year, 14 walks. And Coach Matt Hendricks and the Tigers really wanting one of those strikeouts to come up big once again here. So Abby Helms to the dugout and coming in to play first base in place of Allie Roberts, who slides to the circle. It's Ansley Plant, the senior first baseman. She'll jump in for her first action of the game. 1-2-1 right now inside the Auburn High School softball complex as Allie Roberts gets ready to get set for this 1-1 for this 1-1 tie. This 1-out pitcher, this 1-out batter, is going to be McKay Yuntz, the pitcher for Opelika, wearing number 1. She's grounded out and tripled on the night, an RBI triple a couple of innings ago. She has certainly made good use of her bat and her pitching arm tonight. And the superstar for the Opelika Bulldogs, McKay Yuntz, going to stand in from the right side. Auburn wanting to strike out here with 1 out, and now looks like they're going to intentionally walk McKay Yuntz. And they'll bring in Sinai Stringer to put the force at every base. So I think a smart move there by Coach Matt Hendricks, trying to get his offense a little bit of help just by not allowing another run to score for Opelika, not putting pressure on him. And Sinai Stringer will stand in from the left side to face Allie Roberts. So bases loaded, 1 out. Opelika threatening here in the top of the 5th inning. And Auburn would certainly love a strikeout or maybe a pop-up on the infield, something like that, to transpire here. Here's the first pitch to Stringer, a little bit outside for ball 1. So the 1-0 now the count for Sinai Stringer. Here's a 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. On the outer half, Allie Roberts delivers the fastball on the outside corner. Stringer trying to work on tightening up that swing, just staying in the middle of it. She takes a couple of practice hats. Here's the 1-1 pitch, misses up and out for ball 2. Big moment in the game here for both teams. Auburn Tigers and Opelika Bulldogs tied at 1. The Tigers with bases loaded and 1 out threatening. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the outer half, called by the home plate umpire. A nice pitch by Allie Roberts to hit that corner. And she's a strike away from getting the Tigers just 1 out away from being out of this one. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Allie Roberts comes in, gets the strikeout of Sinai Stringer, and there are 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. Jade Jones now going to stand in the third baseman for the Opelika Dogs, trying to pick up her teammate, but a huge strikeout by Allie Roberts to get 2 down in the inning. First pitch is off the glove of the catcher. Looked like that was a foul ball. It's flipped back to the third baseman. Now Ivy Davis will try to flip home, and 2 runs are going to score. It looked like that may have been foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. Now a timeout going to be called. No, now they'll just clean off the plate. Oh, man, it looked like a foul ball from up here. But they're going to say that went off the catcher's mitt of Coco Doyle, who tried to flip it back to Roberts at home plate to get the runner coming home. Ivy Davis came in, tried to pick up the trash and flip it home. So a passed ball going to make it a 3-1 ball game now for the Opelika Bulldogs. As the 1-0 pitch misses upstairs. Excuse me, that was the 0-1 pitch on a swinging strike by the Opelika Bulldogs third baseman. So a big play in that game. Not sure if she tipped that one or not. Certainly would be interesting to see on the replay. But a 2-1 count now to Jade Jones, the Opelika third baseman. Okay, well, if you're Auburn, just got to swallow that one. Come back with a couple of runs in this next half of the inning. Here's Allie Roberts' 1-2 pitch in there, swung on and missed for a strike 3, and that will get Auburn out of the inning. But Opelika strikes for a couple of hits. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors in that top of the 5th inning, but a very costly pass ball as Coco Doyle looked like may have had some help from the bat of Jay Jones. We're not sure. May have to go look at that one again. But Opelika does score 2 in the top of the 5th inning, and they now lead this one 3-1. We'll be right back to give you the action of the bottom of the 5th inning on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. I don't believe she tipped it actually. I watched it again. I'm not sure, but I just saw it real quickly.
Play that back.
I just saw a quick blurb of it, so I'm not sure. But I don't know. She may have.
Yeah.
I think she did. I think she did.
Tip ball, Blue.
Ivy Davis, the first batter in the bottom of the 5th inning now for the Auburn Tigers. As Auburn gives up 2 in the top of the 5th inning on a pass ball from Coco Doyle. As Ivy Davis takes another ball low and inside, making the count 2-0 on her. And looking at the replay we did over break, and it looks like a foul ball, looked like a foul tip just off the hands of the Opelika batter. But Auburn, if you're Auburn, going to have to just fight through that one. 2-0 the count. Now it's 3-0 as that one runs outside. So Auburn looking to get that leadoff runner on here and trying to get those runs back. Boy, and if you're Auburn, that's just a tough break. Looked like that ball was foul tip. And again, not sure on replay as the 3-0 pitch hits for a called strike 1. And again, we're not sure of it, but certainly looked like that pitch may have been fouled back into the mid of Doyle and right out of it. She just couldn't hang on to the foul ball. 3-1 the count now on Ivy Davis. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Misses high, and Ivy Davis works a walk to open the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers, and the leadoff runner is on. So Auburn trying to answer that 2 spot by Opelika in the top of the 5th, and standing in now for the Tigers, it's the shortstop, Kate Thornell. Thornell already with a couple of big plays out at shortstop tonight for the Tigers, and a big RBI double back in the 2nd inning for Auburn. as she looks to duplicate those results here. Now she'll step out as a quick timeout taken by the home plate umpire. Now we're ready for softball again. Thornell bats from the right side. Ivy Davis down at first. First pitch delivers as a called strike one. Right down the middle for Thornell. Oh, and 1 the count on Kate Thornell. Auburn trying to answer here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ivy Davis down at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside. Thornell, a nice check swing. Doesn't chase it, and that'll run the count to 1-1. Over at Plainsman Park, the Auburn University team has cut the Jacksonville State lead to 3-2 now in the bottom of the 7th. Still batting with the tying run down at third base. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Bunted out in front. Catcher has it. She bumps into the first baseman, and everybody's safe. Catcher Zinlin Thomas came out of her crouch to get it. Sinai Stringer, the first baseman for the Opelika Dogs, came in trying to field it. They both ran into each other, and they weren't able to get a throw off to first base. And Auburn now has runners at first and second, threatening with Holly Roberson going to be stepping up to the plate now from the right side for the Auburn Tigers. Boy, and that could serve to be big for the Tigers, down 3-1 in this bottom of the 5th inning. Looking for a big hit to get right back in it after the unfortunate events of the top of the 5th inning. So a bunt single by Kate Thornell, who is 2 for 2 on the day. And now Hallie Roberson with a chance to drive in a run or two. First pitch due to her. Here it is. Tried to bunt it, missed it. Catcher Zinlin Thomas will run out, but nobody down at second or first to throw out either runner who were about halfway down the line. So the count will stay at 0-1 here. Nobody out in the inning. Auburn threatening with runners at first and second. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Roberson. Bunted down the left field line, but foul, as that'll get by the Auburn dugout, and that'll run the count to 0-2. Well, you'd like to see Holly just kind of focus on getting that one down. I believe she's looking to take off a little bit early, trying to get down to first base, and certainly got to love the hustle for her. Just want to try to get this bunt down, get those runners in scoring position. And the bunt may now be off with an 0-2 count. Here it is to Roberson, popped up on the infield. Under it is the third baseman for Opelika, Jade Jones. Sees under it, grabs it, and there is one down in the inning. Auburn still with some threats here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners at second and first in Ivy Davis and Kate Thornell. A walk and a bunt single have the Tigers threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now standing in from the right side is Coco Doyle, the catcher. Doyle from the right side, batting 150 on the season. Looking to come up big for the Tigers here. She tries a bunt attempt to get on, but fouls that back to the right side. Running the count to 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Doyle. Pulls the bat back, tries to swing at it, but takes it down the right field line, foul. Oh, and 2 the count on Coco Doyle, trying to move those runners up at the very least. Auburn down 2 runs, but threatening here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 pitch, 2 were swung on and missed by Coco Doyle. Looked like a fastball that moved to the outer half, and now there were 2 down in the inning. That'll bring up Lucy Curry for the Auburn Tigers, the leadoff hitter. Lucy batting .340 on the season coming into this one. A home run, 3 extra base hits, and the Auburn Tigers just looking for something in play here, looking for a hit. First pitch to Curry. Looked a little low, called a strike, though. Running the count to 0-1 on the Auburn left fielder. Lucy 0 for 2 on the night, a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman. Trying to improve on that total here. The 0-1 pitch grounded right back to the pitcher, throws on to first, and the Opelika Bulldogs stop the threat of the Auburn Tigers. Boy, Auburn got the first 2 runners on and weren't able to move them up any bases. as they are out in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th. No runs on 1 hit and no errors in that bottom of the 5th inning. It's Opelika 3, Auburn 1. We'll be right back to Auburn softball on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Opelika back up in the top of the 6th inning, ready to face Allie Roberts once again. Allie came on, was able to get Auburn out of a jam in the top of the 5th inning, but a passed ball brought home 2 for the Opelika Dogs as the first pitch is swung on and missed by number 13, Riley Long, the Opelika shortstop. Roberts settles in, fires the 0-1 pitch in there for a swinging strike 2. And it's an 0-2 count on Long. Boy, and just a deflating inning there as Auburn had a couple of runners on, weren't able to move them up. There's the 0-2 pitch from Roberts. Right back to her at the circle. Turns around, throws on to first. A little bit low, but Ansley Plan able to handle it over there at first for the first out of the top of the 6th inning. Well, a big strikeout by Allie Roberts in the top of the 5th inning. Last time Opelika was up. A pitch off the glove, it went, of Coco Doyle. Doyle actually looked like she may have been interrupted by a foul tip at the plate. Still looking into that one to make sure that was what it truly was. Standing in now is Jansen Thompson. First pitch to her is a strike delivered by Allie Roberts. As the 0-1 pitch from Roberts, who works quick, gets ready, foul down the right field line into the Opelika dugout, and quickly it's 0-2 on the Opelika designated player. Oh, and 2, Allie Roberts on Jansen Thompson as the Tigers trying to get back in the dugout. Score a couple of runs to get back into this one. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted to first base, right at Ansley Plan. She's under it, makes the catch, and there are 2 down quickly in the inning. So Riley Young grounding out right to Allie Roberts, and Jansen Thompson popping out over to first base to Ansley Plan. And with 2 down, in steps Memory Lyles, the Opelika left fielder. First pitch to her misses just outside. And the count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Allie Roberts. Swung on over to the Opelika dugout once again. Opelika kind of getting some screams over there from their fellow players in the dugout. They're not too happy about all the foul balls being hit right at them. 1-1 count due to Lyles. Here it is. Swung on and missed on the inner half, running the count to 1-2. Auburn a strike away from getting out of this one, getting back in the dugout, hopefully putting up a couple of runs. Kick and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and a very quick inning. Allie Roberts sets them down 1-2-3. Memory Lyles' 3rd strikeout of the evening will set the Opelika Bulldogs down in order in the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Auburn needs some runs. It's Opelika 3, Auburn 1. You're listening to the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Bottom of the 6th inning, Auburn looking for some late runs. A little bit of late action as the first pitch to Jaden Jordan, who's in for the Tigers. Bounces up there, in at ball 1. 1-0 the count on the Auburn center fielder. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat. Grounded over to shortstop, bobbled it, now picks it up, throws on to first, and she's safe. The foot came off the bag by the first baseman. That's Sinai Stringer over there, who just couldn't quite keep her foot on the bag, and Jaden Jordan, the speedy runner, is on. And the Tigers have a threat going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Boy, that one kind of softly grounded over to the shortstop, Riley Young, for the Dogs. She bobbled it, was able to throw it over to first, but Sinai Stringer just took her eye off or at least her foot off the bag. Now there's a runner at first, and there goes Jordan from first. Sliding in, easy does Jaden Jordan, a stolen base for the senior. Pitch was a ball. 1-0 the count, and now the Tigers have the second run down in scoring position. Boy, a nice read there by Jaden Jordan just to go on the first pitch. Pitch was a little bit low and outside. Jordan stole that one easily as the throw was a little bit high. And now here is Allie Roberts at the plate. Squared to bunt, then pulled it back and fouled it back off the back screen. And the count runs to 1-1. So Auburn with the leadoff runner now down at second base, trying to bring her home an inch a run closer in the bottom of the 6th inning here. Here's the kick and the pitch by the Opelika pitcher, McKay Yuntz. A little bit low and outside for ball 2. Jaden Jordan down there at second base, kind of dancing off of the bag every now and again. Looking to cause a little bit of confusion here for the Bulldogs. 2-1 the count on Allie Roberts. McKay Yuntz in the circle. She'll kick and fire. In there for a called strike. Wow, looked a little bit low and outside, but must have caught the corner there. And the count runs to 2-2. Allie with a strikeout and a fly out to left field so far, looking for just some contact here by Allie. 2-2 pitch to her, lined into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Around third base is Jordan. Jordan coming home. She will score, and the Auburn Tigers have moved 1 run closer. Allie Roberts comes through with a single to right center field, and it's 3-2 Opelika. Boy, what a nice piece of hitting by Allie Roberts. A 2-2 pitch, just kind of stayed back. Took what the pitch gave her. It was a little bit outside. She just lined it over the second baseman's head. Jaden Jordan came around third base, just trotting home. She was able to make it standing up. So the Tigers have moved a run closer, 3-2. And now standing in from the right side, it'll be first baseman Ansley Plan, who will bat in place of Abby Helms, came out of the game as the pitcher. So Auburn now with the tying run down at first base. And that was Allie Roberts. Believe we've got a pinch runner in the game currently. And Ansley Hartland out at first base. A bunt laid down by Ansley Plan down the third base line. Going to be picked up and handled by Opelika third baseman Jay Jones as she throws her out at first base. But that will move Hartman down to second base. So Auburn has the tying run down at second with 1 out in the inning. And standing in now, the Auburn designated player, Lily Ondy. Batting from the right side, looking to try and tie this one up. First pitch, lined into right field, but right at the right fielder, Allie-Ann Blythe. She'll get under this one, throw it in. Runner moving up to third base, does Ashlyn Hartland on that one. And there are 2 down in the inning now, but Auburn does move that runner up to third base. So a wild pitcher, something kind of crazy, may get a run home here for the Tigers. Ivy Davis with a big chance to give her team a tie here in the late innings. Standing in from the right side, the Auburn third baseman. Boy, a big hit by Allie Roberts in this one, and Auburn trying to tie this one up. Pitch misses outside, almost got away from the catcher, Zinlin Thomas. But she was able to corral that, keep that runner down at third base. Auburn has moved to a run closer, 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trying to get that run in from third. Here's the pitch to Ivy Davis, popped up into center field. Coming on as the center fielder, and she dropped the ball. She dropped the ball. Ivy Davis going to go into second base. She'll stand there. Center fielder overran the ball. KD Lee came on trying to make it, just overran it, and the game is tied at 3. Just put it in play, Auburn, and that's what she did. Ivy Davis, not sure if we could give that a double or an error. Don't believe it touched her glove, so that will be a double for Ivy Davis as she brings home Ashlyn Hartland to tie this game up at 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Some clutch hitting by the Tigers move them ever closer here. And now the go-ahead run at second base for the Tigers. And standing in, it'll be the shortstop, Kate Thornell, who's already got a couple of hits on the night. Now Ivy Davis going to come out of the game, and Jana Storm going to make her way down to second base to pinch run. And looking at the replay we have here, yeah, it looked like KD Lee came on and had a beat on it, just overran that ball. So a big play for the Opelika defense. Doesn't get them out of the inning, and Auburn scores the 3rd run, ties up the game here in the bottom of the 6th, and can move ahead now with a base hit from Kate Thornell. And as we mentioned, Kate Thornell already with 2 base hits on the evening, looking to make it 3. First pitch is in there for a called strike 1, as it is a brand new ball game. Again, Jana Storm down at second base, going to pinch run for Ivy Davis, who I believe we're going to call just doubled to center field. 0-1 count on Thornell. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Lined into right field. That'll get down. Base hit. Around third base comes Ashlyn Hartland. No, that's Jana Storm. She will score standing up, and the Auburn Tigers take a 4-3 lead. 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning as Jana Storm comes home to score, and some 2-out magic by the Tigers have them in front. Boy, Kate Thornell with another base hit on the evening. 2 RBIs on the night for her, and none bigger than that one there. It is a 4-3 lead for the Auburn Tigers, and now Opelika defense will come in and chat. And while we've got a second, we'll go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. Auburn moving closer here on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Oh, my God. Auburn's going to football game. Tigers back out in front of Opelika here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3. 3 runs on 3 hits so far in this one, and the Auburn Tigers have taken the lead over Opelika. Now standing in, the right fielder, Holly Roberson, with a runner down at first base. Some 2-out hitting, by the Tigers have them back out in front of this one. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Roberson. Swung on, lifted down the left field line, deep but way foul. That'll get close to the road over there coming into Auburn High School. Auburn with a little late inning magic to come back out in front of this one, trying to give themselves some insurance here once again. The 0-2 pitch to Roberson, swung on, fouled right back to the screen. That's Thornell, who had taken off for second, will retreat to first. Now some noise from the Auburn side of things over down the third base line as they have new life once again. 0-2 pitch to Roberson. Here it is. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and the Tigers are done in the inning. But 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error in the inning for the Opelika Bulldogs. Auburn has taken the lead in the bottom of the 6th and look to close it out in the top of the 7th right after this on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic. Cut that push and pee up. Y'all cut up that push and pee.
Go, Allie! Go, Allie!
Well, Auburn needed a crooked number in the bottom of the 6th inning there to at least tie the game, and they got even more than that. 3 runs on 3 hits in the inning. A couple of them on 2 out hitting, and the Auburn Tigers now back in front looking to try and close this one out against the 9-1-2 hitters for the Opelika Bulldogs. And standing in to face Allie Roberts, the Auburn pitcher, record right now, she would get the win in the event of an Auburn comeback here in 3 outs to a save. And in to face her is Katie Harrelson, who takes a first pitch ball outside, making it a 1-0 count. One and 0 the count on Harrelson. Here's the pitch. Right back foul to the screen, making it a 1-1 count. Allie Roberts trying to go for her save tonight as the Auburn offense has stormed back to take this lead and now 3 outs away from a big win. Here's a 1-1 pitch, fouled right over to the Opelika dugout once again. Boy, the Opelika dugout over there getting a workout as that net has been hit about 10 times tonight, it seems like. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to third base. No, that's shortstop Kate Thornell. Up with it, throws to first and got her by a step. And there's 1 down in the inning. Looked like that was grounded at first over to Ivy Davis. Just couldn't quite get over in time, but Kate Thornell had her backed up well. Was able to grab it and throw out the runner at first base. And Auburn is 2 outs away from a victory. Zinlin Thomas standing in now, the catcher for the Opelika Dogs. She has popped out to second and walked on the evening, but she is still certainly a thorn in the Auburn Tigers side. Quick on the base paths and able to kind of fight in there with the contact hitting. She's been able to stay in there for long at bats tonight. First pitch to her was fouled back, so an 0-1 count. Here's the next pitch to her. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 on the inner half. Allie Roberts throws it by her, and she's quickly in a hole, 0-2. Auburn Tigers trying to get a huge comeback win over the Opelika Bulldogs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted right back. Coco Doyle back. Oh, can't quite get it. As she ran right backwards, almost ran into the brick wall down there. As that was just kind of barely fought off by Zinlin Thomas. Ball was in the air, it seemed like, for maybe a couple of minutes. And Coco Doyle was able to run back, just couldn't quite get to it. But that will leave the count at 0-2. Allie Roberts in trying to pick up the save. She rocks and fires the 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit high, must have been. And the count is 1-2 on Zinlin Thomas. Allie Roberts gave the Tigers a big hit in the bottom of the 6th, looking to give them a big pitch here. Right back to her, caught in the air, and there are 2 down. Zinlin Thomas lines it out right back to Allie Roberts, who put a glove on it. And Auburn's an out away. Auburn 1 out away from victory here, and what a big victory it would be. Down 3-1 going into the 6th inning. They were able to score 3 in the bottom of the 6th and now find themselves 1 out away from victory. 4-3, Tigers on top of Opelika. First pitch coming to the center fielder. K.D. Lee is up over the head of Coco Doyle for ball number 1. Roberts maybe just a little bit too excited on that first pitch. And a 1-0 count now due to K.D. Lee. She's grounded out to second and back to the pitcher tonight. As she swings through a strike 1, Fastball up stairs, got her swinging. Excuse me, folks, was looking down at a couple of numbers for the Tigers tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Allie Roberts. Bunted right back to Roberts. Roberts picks it up, fields, throws. Oh, she threw it away into right field. Threw it away into right field. Oh, Roberts had a chance to end the ball game with a good throw, but the Opelika Dogs are right back in it. No runner moves up on the play, so only a runner on first base for the Dogs. But that will now bring to the plate the dangerous McKay Yuntz, who has an RBI triple on the night. And if she can redo those results here, she's going to tie this game up. Well, always a tough thing for a pitcher to throw to first base overhanded. Just used to throwing underhanded all game. And just kind of lost it. First pitch fouled back to the screen. So a quick strike on McKay Yuntz. Well, if you're Roberts, just got to hang in there. Make sure you execute your pitches. 0-1 pitch. Taking off from first base, swinging strike, and it goes into center field to throw from Coco Doyle. Now a throw from Jaden Jordan into third base. Ivy Davis able to corral that, but the Opelika Bulldogs have the tying run down at third base. Boy, taking off from first base, K.D. Lee made it in safely as the throw from Coco Doyle got away from the Auburn second baseman Campbell Spratlin. And Opelika now with the tying run 90 feet away, but an 0-2 count due to McKay Yuntz. Allie Roberts trying to close it out for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2 pitch, just a little bit inside. McKay Yuntz gets out of the way, and a 1-2 count now on the Opelika pitcher on the evening. Yuntz trying to come up with a clutch hit and give the Dogs a tie here in the top of the seventh. Roberts trying to make sure it doesn't happen as that pitch is fouled over to the right side, hitting the Opelika dugout once again. Auburn 4, Opelika 3. Top of the seventh inning inside the Auburn High School softball complex. 2 outs and a 1-2 count on Opelika pitcher McKay Yuntz. Allie Roberts trying to work out of yet another jam. She'll rock backwards. Here's the kick and the fire. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Tigers win it. Allie Roberts gets the strikeout of McKay Yuntz, comes back after an errant throw into right field, and the Tigers come back and win this one in dramatic fashion. Final score 4-3, no runs on no hits and 1 error for the Opelika Bulldogs in the top of the seventh, and Auburn somehow, some way squeaks by and picks up their 6th win of the year. 6-8-2, the Auburn Tigers will improve to. Opelika Bulldogs will fall to 10-11-1 on the season as the Auburn Tigers pick up an absolutely gargantuan win, coming back from down 3-1 in the 6th inning. Tell you what, we'll go ahead and send you to break for 2 minutes, come back, give you a couple of post-game numbers, and hopefully sit down with head coach Matt Hendricks about this fantastic win by this Auburn High School softball team. Once again, your final, Auburn 4, Opelika 3. This has been Auburn Softball on the Auburn High School Sports Network, presented by the Orthopedic Clinic.